In this episode, we talk to fitness expert and author of 13 books, Sharny Kieser from sharnyandjulius.com, about six-packs, getting your kid off, and why having your clients stolen could actually be the best thing that ever happened to your business.
Welcome to the Tradies Business Show, helping you get off the tools and into true business ownership, so you can spend more time doing the things that matter most. Now, here are your hosts, Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark.
Welcome back, listeners. We've got a great interview in store today, don't we, Michaela?
We do. Sharny, not our normal interview that we like to do, but she certainly has given us a lot of value that you're going to take away today. I mean, she's a successful entrepreneur, author, mother of 5, has a growing global brand and still has time to live a healthy lifestyle. And man, there's no excuses that you can put to her that you can't get where you want. And hey, we talk about hot tradies, so
Yay.
It's good.
Yeah, I was very hot under the collar.
So let's get into it.
So welcoming to the Tradies Business Show today, we have Sharny Kieser.
Hi.
Hi, Sharny. So Sharny is joining us to talk about a number of things today. Certainly bringing the female perspective to the Tradies Business Show.
Yeah, about time.
I'm feeling a bit outnumbered in the studio this morning. But Sharny is, I guess we'd call you a personal trainer, but more than that now, you're an entrepreneur, you're a mum, you've got a number of books, and it all started back in 2011 with Never Diet Again, somewhat controversial perhaps, and I think that's a bit of a theme for you and Julius, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what the media love about us, is we don't mind telling the truth.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, there's nothing wrong with the truth. Makes for good stories sometimes. So look, we're going to get stuck in and start firing questions at you, Sharny, but yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited chatting to I'm just imagining all these hot tradies with their shirts off, tool belts on.
Nice. Big tool belts. So tell us a bit about, I guess, your overall business journey. Did it start with the book, or did it start before
Well, it started, we were in fitness and had a gym, and Julius was in finance as a financial planner or paraplanner. He sectioned off, and he ended up not liking that career, so went across to our gym, and we both then worked in our gym, which was brilliant. We ended up at 7 trainers. We were about to start franchising, or at least opening more gyms, and one of just before I had Alexis, which was our second little girl, who's now 4, she would have been, actually she was 3 months old. I'd birthed her, and then one of our trainers walked away with 40 of our clients, which is off our bottom line, $5,000 a week, that just was gone a week before Christmas. So we're like, oh my goodness. So at that point, you're either fall in a mess and just step out of business and never ever go on again, or you shake yourself off and go, okay, it's happened. What do we do about it now? We looked down the path of suing, which would have cost us more money, and it was a really long road to go down that path. So we, at that point, and we look back at it now, and we're so grateful it happened, because it pivoted us into writing and writing our first book, which happened the following year. So very grateful. Thank you for the trainer that stole those clients and pushed us in a different direction. So from that point, and that was a really great learning for us, because everything that happens to us now, we go, okay, what can we learn out of this? Why has this happened? And where's it sending us to? Is it making us get out of the gym and doing something bigger and better, which that was. So now we've got 13 books. We've just released our 13th book.
Wow.
And if that hadn't happened, we may not have ever went down that path. So that was a nightmare at the time. And anyway, now we're writing books, and we've got 5 kids. We've got we've just had a 16-week-old. We want more.
Who was in the studio here just before.
Yeah, and has disappeared.
Yes, he's been whisked away by somebody. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's how the journey went for us. And obviously there's been a fitness journey along the way with weight loss for us. I gained too much weight with children, which was purely my fault, just eating too much and not eating the right things. And that is, I guess, embarrassing as well for me, because I was in the fitness industry. I should know better. So I was even more wanting to stay at home and hibernate and hide, because of, like I just said, I should know better. But yeah, there's been a huge journey for us, and here we are now. Just released our 13th book yesterday. which is a pregnancy book, about to release another one in January. We've got another 2 cookbooks next year. We've got 4 online programs, which are fitness programs. So things are great at the moment, which is good.
Awesome. Good on you, Sharny. So I think Michaela wants to ask this question. I'll let you ask it.
Yeah, so I guess, you're a mother, you're juggling an amazing brand, building a business, all those books. I guess from the tradie wife perspective, we're looking after kids, I'm running my own business, I'm running my husband's business, I could live a healthier lifestyle. What tips and strategies do you have to people that say, look, I don't have enough time, or they have all the excuses in the world to really get out there and change their life around and get it all done?
And I totally get that, because I was there with excuses as well of tired time, because we've got 5 kids, and one of them is 16 weeks, and then we've got 22-month-old, so almost 2, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and then an 18-year-old. So we're also dealing with teenagers with hormones, who's just got his license, who's decided now he wants to go clubbing, and there's that stress as well as toddlers and nappies. So sleep just doesn't happen in Julius and my world. So lack of sleep, you can get around that, because what exercise and good food I guarantee will give you more energy. So if someone tells me that they're not exercising and they're overweight because they're too tired, then don't tell me that, because you'll get a slap, in a nice way. I just think that life is so short. So for someone because I'm at home, with the kids, I want to look back on my life when my kids have grown up and I've got grandchildren, or, right at the end of your life where maybe you're almost dead. Like, you're at that point and you look back on your life, and I don't want to look back on my life and realize I've had all these excuses and haven't achieved. So you can always fit more into your day. Like, even now with 5 children, and people look at me with 2 children and go, oh my gosh, how do you do it with 5? And when I had 2, it was full on. But it's no different now with 5. It's still full on. Kids fit into your routine. You just work it out. So I exercise with my kids. Another big thing I get is, I prefer to spend time with my kids and have a horrible body than, and not neglect my kids. Well, my kids exercise with me. I'm never away from my children. So that's another excuse that I often get. And food-wise, just preparation as well. So the only difference between, say, a mum that's not exercising and that really feels unhappy at the moment with where she's at with her body, she's looking at herself in the mirror and going, where have I gone? Where's my identity gone? I'm not me anymore. I mean, my boobs are just being I'm breastfeeding, like they're not, they're heading south for the winter, my boobs. So, instead of doing that, the only difference between myself and that particular person, because I was there, is discipline. And his habits. And I've just created better habits for myself. So, for example, instead of watching TV every night, Julius and I, once the babies are all down, and our day starts by 4:45. Our day is well and truly started with the kids up. So, but at night time, once the kids are down, we do a tidy up of the house, or one of us does a tidy up of the house, and then we do a workout. And we always, it's non-negotiable, do a workout before bed. If we want to watch a movie, a DVD, Saturday night, or we choose a night that's going to be, and we'll get a DVD and we'll enjoy it. But it's not just because I would love, once the kids go down, just to lay on the couch, get out a cake or a pie or something and just eat. But it's just the discipline in forcing myself not to do that has been more rewarding and has made me happy.
Sure. And I guess also living that healthier lifestyle, if you are running a business, you're so much clearer, you've got so much energy in your business. And when you look at yourself, that will reflect in your business as well, because you'll be more focused and have more energy to throw into that. And so it'll have that business impact as well.
Absolutely. And for anyone that is tired, just a 5-minute, 10-minute workout. So if our Julius and my tired workout, if we're exhausted, is just 50 burpees, which takes about 5 minutes. Like if you're slow, it'll take you 8 minutes, which is not a lot of time. Just kind of roll down and roll back up and roll down. That's a really lazy burpee, but hey, you're still exhausted after it. And after you've done that, obviously give yourself a chance to get your breath back, and you've got a burst of energy then. So that's a really cool workout that's fast. So even just to find a fast workout, just to power through the night if you need that extra energy at night time.
That's right. And there's no excuses either for our boys on the job site not having healthy lunches and healthy meals as well, if they pay attention to preparation and things like that as well.
Because you see the vans that get around, the pie vans, and oh my God, I cringe, because the guys pack a lunch. Like, really, just plan your week ahead and have everything pre-planned in the fridge. If you've got the spare cash there, and you want to invest. There's a few businesses out now that do the meal prepping for you. So they drop off healthy meals twice a week, and you've got them in the fridge in little containers, and you just zip those out for you, and then you can take them to work. But I definitely think, I reckon it's cool. We should start a new trend. Tradies taking a lunchbox to work. That'd
we
be
did
cool.
it at school. We'll get it back on the job site.
I reckon that'd be cool.
I wonder how many people will steal other guys' lunches. Yours is better than mine. Will be some
They're all
marketing.
sitting around with their lunchboxes. What have you got in yours?
Well, I can smell a business opportunity for, instead of the pie van, is like a paleo van. Get someone scooting
totally.
around with some recipes from your book, Healthy Junk.
Yeah.
Start dishing out some healthy junk pies.
Healthy junk van. Yeah.
There you go.
And maybe some Tradies Business Show lunchboxes as well. Bit of a promo item there. One thing my husband always says, he's got a bit of a beer gut on him. He doesn't mind a six-pack now and again. And he says, I'm on the tools all day. I'm too exhausted to come home and exercise. What do you say to those guys?
Oh, gosh, I'd love you guys to throw some excuses at me. That's a great idea. Okay, so that is such a good excuse. Well, it's a good one I've heard, but it's definitely got an answer for it. If you're exhausted when you get home, he should get on the weights. Okay, does he have a gym membership?
No.
Okay, would he want a gym membership?
No.
Would he have some weights at home?
He does, and he'll pick them up, and he does 5 arm lifts, and then he says, "Oh, I'm done." And it's a bit of a joke in our house, but hey, you're getting older, your tummy's getting a little bit bigger.
Yep.
Your body's used to what you're doing all day. You need to do something different, and you need to get out.
So when does he normally go and start to try and do it? So do you guys have dinner? How does your afternoon work? Because I'm guessing other people would go through this. That's why I just want you to talk me through the scenario.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come home, get the kids off the bus, and then sits and cracks a beer. I mean, before dinner time. So, there's plenty of opportunity for him to do it.
Yeah.
But it's just stopping those,
So he needs to find a time in which it works for him. So whether it's once the kids go to bed or it's instead of cracking that beer, because once you've cracked the beer, then you want to do a workout. It's probably not.
No.
You're not really keen. But I promise once he does the workout, he won't want the beer. Yeah. So maybe he should just look at, okay, Saturday night or Saturday afternoon is going to be, I'm going to have 2-3 beers. That's going to be my beer day, and just narrow it down to that. He might get that sexy and that fit that he won't want beers at all anymore. Like he'll eliminate the beers, but maybe just narrow it down to having beers once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And then Monday to Friday is his gym workout. He's just got to get in there and do 15 minutes. So it doesn't matter how long it takes him. I can even send him a little workout or something like that with weights. Start at the top and work his way down the list, and do not leave until he's finished. He's ticked off those 5 things that he's going to do. So bench press, squats with the bar, whatever he's got. And I tell you, he'll feel better that he's done it.
Yeah.
But he's just got to tell himself, I'm not leaving until I've done this 15 minutes.
And I'm going to put Sharny on the spot here, listeners, and get that workout from you, and we'll put that in the show notes for this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll throw a few up.
So we'll get some tradies workouts.
Yeah, cool.
They're going to help you guys get a different kind of six-pack. So.
Yeah, I'll give you guys, what I'll do is I'll give a one with weights. So if tradies want to do weights, a cardio one for fast cardio, and then one that you don't need any equipment as well. So for people that don't have a lot of equipment or don't have a gym membership, there's just no excuses. We're eliminating everything here today.
Love it.
Our listeners all just turned off.
Yeah. Wait till I get home today. I'll be at the fridge. No.
Yeah. No beers until you've done a workout.
That's it.
Yeah. So what about from a time perspective, Sharny? Because I know you, we're talking about, I guess, juggling all these things like working out and eating healthy and planning meals. But I guess it goes back to what Michaela was saying. A lot of our listeners are working very hard and they are working long days, and then they have to come home often in their businesses and do paperwork and send invoices and sit down and do quotes till 11 o'clock at night. How do they fit it all in? I mean, how do you guys fit 5 kids and 13 books and everything else that you're doing?
Yeah, well, that's brilliant. And that's a legitimate excuses time, but a lot of people sleep more than what they need to. If I'm lucky, I'll get 3 hours straight sleep. That's a really, and I'll sleep, generally Julius and I sleep about 5 hours a night and that's broken sleep for me because I'm breastfeeding at the moment. But your body, as long as you're eating good food and you're exercising, your body doesn't need a lot of sleep. So obviously you want to try and work for your 7 or 8 hours a night, but you're still going to survive without that. And I promise once you create the discipline of just 10 to 15 minutes of exercise a day and eating good, clean food. So I don't eat grains, sugar or dairy. I've cut all that out because I feel good and I don't want to go back to it. But I mean, some people are fine. Julius will have oats occasionally and he's fine on oats because he'll do that as a carb load. He'll have his oats as a carb load, with a protein shake in it, like of water and protein. But you've got to work out what works for you with your nutrition. So, and a McDonald's and a beer diet is probably, I like to say that nothing's wrong, but someone said that they have McDonald's and beer every day. I'd be like, yeah, we could probably work on that just a tad.
There's room for improvement.
Yeah. So I think that if you want to do a 45 minutes or an hour, which is most people think they've got to do an hour for results, but you don't. You can do 5-10 minutes. And I promise you the intensity of it, you'll see results. Now, it depends on what people love. If men or tradies love to do weights, if the girls and their wives love to do cardio, depends. Julius and I love to work out together. It's our date. We get in after the kids go to bed and we work out in our undies if we want to get really intimate.
It's a different kind of hot and sweaty.
Yeah, it's really hot in there. So because it's all set up in our garage. So we've decided we have our weights in our garage and we wander in there. So that might be something you guys can do. Is not about the undie thing, but just just work out together and use that as a date rather than, because people go out on a date and they go to a restaurant. Why don't you go for a run or go for a hike or do something as a couple? So it could be your date day or so on. So I think that just finding in answer to your question, finding just 5-10 minutes to start with in your day, work out where. Ours is night. If it's been a crazy night and we just say it didn't happen because we had a meeting or something didn't happen, then we'll tag team each other or something like that and we'll get it done through the day. And it'll be a fast workout for me, or we'll do it with the kids. So there's never an excuse not to exercise. We work a way around it. Like a lot of the time, Julius will be doing burpees or do a little workout in the backyard and he's got the kids kind of jumping all over him while he's doing it and he's using them as weights. So it can be fun too.
So I can strap a couple of kids on the end of a barbell and start doing some deadlifts with them.
That's a great idea.
And so 13 books. I mean, where do you guys get the time to write all these books? And I know you've got programs online and you're doing media engagements. I mean, how do you fit all that stuff in as well?
Well, we've got a timetable that we run by. So Julius gets up at about 3-ish in the morning and starts his writing. That's his creative time. So he'll write from there. And then he comes in at about 5:30, or actually probably more 6 o'clock, around that breakfast time, he'll take a quick break and come and have breakfast with us. And then I have the kids. My day starts at around 12-ish and Julius, while the kids are sleeping, and then the kids wake at about 2-ish. Julius finishes work around 2. I keep going till about 4. We have family time. The kids then crazy time with dinner and everything like that, which is, we try to call it calming time, not crazy time. Like where everything's chaos. Everyone that's got kids knows that 5 o'clock dinner, bath, bedtime is insanity. So once the kids all go down, we tidy up the insanity and work out. And then we're in bed and I will often still have some work to do. So we generally I won't get to bed till about midnight, but Julius crashes straight after his workout because he's got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So kind of that's our routine. So I don't think other people need to have the same routine, but definitely if you've got a structure as a team. And one thing that's worked for Julius and I, there's no dominating partner within our relationship. We're sharing a journey together. There's no boss. If Julius has got a problem with something I'm doing, we talk about it. We've got an extremely open and honest relationship in that regard. If something's on my mind, he'll hear about it and vice versa. I think that's a very healthy relationship. There's no, and people look at us and go, oh my God, you're the perfect power couple. You've got like that dream relationship. No. We argue. But there's always a resolution at the end of it because we're two people sharing a road together. Whether that road, like I hope we're together for the rest of our lives. We're best friends, but people come and go in and out of your life. You can't hold someone there. You need to be in a compromise, like that's not the right word, a relationship where you compromise. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know Julius didn't always look as good as he looks, and we'll direct listeners to the website later. But what was the turning point for him personally? Do you know?
Because Julius loves to eat, and he'll tell you that himself. And he still juggles every day. This with his dad, because his dad died a few months ago. It was a real rocky road for him. because his dad passed away unexpectedly being shot. So it was it was just really, really came left field. So that for him was a real turning point. In our latest book that we're writing at the moment that gets released in January, he talks about this, that he saw his brother at the funeral, and he shares the same genetics with his brother, clearly. And we saw his brother 3 months earlier, and he was fat, Daniel. And he had, at the funeral, Julius was like, rang me and said, "Oh my God, I've just seen Daniel. He's got abs. Like I could put our credit card in his abs." I feel weird staring at my brother. But he said that he came home, and from that moment, Julius wasn't fat, but he wanted abs. So he's now, looks really good.
I'm not saying anything.
So it was
this is like the ladies'
it's
edition
almost
of the
that
Tradies
point,
Business Show.
but also abs mightn't be important to everybody. For us, our bodies, we want to be photo shoot ready all the time, just because that's what we do. But health and happiness is important, especially as a family. I mean, if you've got children, your children didn't choose to come into the world. You chose to have children. So spend time with them, have fun with them. They are the craziest, funnest creatures in the world. I love little people. They just say what they want. So if you can exercise with them, do that. But it's not about the perfect body. It's about doing something every day to maintain a healthy lifestyle, to be happy. Now, one thing I'd love to ask is, if your child was in trouble and raced out on the road, could you save them? Could you jump a fence, save your child if someone took off, grabbed your child and ran? Could you jump it? And I've got goosebumps because this is really important. And I want to know that if I need to save my kids, I'm fit enough to swim. I'm fit enough to jump 10 fences if I have to save them if I need to. If I'm quick enough, if they jolt head onto the road, I'm after them.
It's a good way to look at it, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah, I think so.
And a lot of it, what you're talking about is changing habits and creating new habits. But it's also finding something that drives us in our businesses, and for our listeners, it's the same. It's like finding that thing that motivates them. I mean, you guys are obviously media personalities, so that's a big part of what you do as well. But it's also just about maximising your enjoyment from life and the time with your kids. So
absolutely,
whatever we need to find to get ourselves motivated, whether it's health and fitness or in our business, it's getting clarity on that and then keeping that top of mind on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
So we could probably talk about fitness and abs all day, although I'm feeling a little inadequate sitting here. There's no credit cards going near my abs.
You work out hard and you eat well, so you're doing really well.
So I want to talk about building a brand as well, Sharny. I mean, you guys have built a very powerful brand, and I suppose for our listeners, it can be a little tough. I mean, they're plumbers, electricians, carpenters, brickies. We've got a myriad of different trades tuning into the show. There's a lot of competition. How do you build a brand that stands out from the other people around you?
Well, you create a celebrity. What we've done is create a celebrity for ourselves. So we've been fortunate enough that our books create a lot of controversy, and people really want to listen. So I guess that's why we're up to book number 13, is because people love what we've got to say and they continue to read them. And while they continue to love and read our books, we'll keep writing them. We've got lots of stuff that we want to bring out next year. So I guess from a tradie's perspective is, if they want, what do you want them to be able to do? Can you give me an example just so I can maybe?
So, Bob the plumber, and there's maybe 30 plumbers in the yellow pages. Not that anybody looks at that. And Google plumber or electrician or any of those trades in pretty much any area in Australia, you'd come up with a really long list of trades. So how do you actually build a brand that stands out from those? I mean, what's some of the things you guys have done? Obviously, the celebrity.
That's a great example, because you need to be front of mind always.
Yep.
So for us, we've came out in the media saying fat people are like doll bludgers. Well, that was what the media said. That's not what our book says. It's very different to that, but it was enough of where people were like, we had death threats. So people wanted to come and punch us. Like, we stopped. We don't look at any of the social media negativity, because it really can affect your momentum with where you're going with your business. So we choose not to read the negative comments. It's really important. I guess that's a tip for anyone out there that gets negative feedback. Just focus on your business and focus on the positive and keep pushing forward. But with relation to it would be standing out. So you need to make sure that you're front of mind. How to do that for us, and I'm sure people can sort of turn it into their own business, is to keep being in the media and bring out new products. So if someone hated us 3 or 4 years ago, they might have been at a crucial point with their body or their health where they didn't want to hear it. So when we said that, or when something they heard about us or read in our book hit a nerve with them, they might not have been ready at that point. But if in 2-3 years' time they might be ready, they'll be like, oh, I might grab Sharny's program or Julius's program or their books or whatever. It might be for a mum or whatever it might be. So I think staying front of mind for that particular. So, for example, if you're on the Sunshine Coast and you're a plumber, trying to get on a radio show or trying to get something, a segment. Oh, I've got great things on the internet you could do. I've got thousands of ideas in that regard. You can be doing advice on if you've got a clogged up toilet with poo. Our kids stuff things down the toilet all the time. Like,
you've got 5 kids.
Free
I
advice.
imagine you've had these problems before.
Yeah. Free advice for people. So there's lots of ideas, but staying front of mind would be.
So it's about that consistent message too. I mean, you guys are always putting stuff out there and you're staying in front of even people who don't necessarily follow you. Your message is still out there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're at a point where if something comes up in the media about pregnancy, we'll get a phone call. If a radio station will call us in the morning, we'll get a phone call at 5 o'clock saying, do you mind just chatting on the show this morning? There was something on news.com.au about fat children or, we want your opinion. So we're at a point now, but we had to build towards that. It was never like that. Because when I first started knocking on media's door, I got a lot of shut doors. No one was interested. No phone calls returned. So when we've kind of turned that around, but that was hard yakka.
Is it hard to get into the media, Sharny?
It is. You've got to have a message, and for us now, as I said, we're at a point where we're okay, and they call us, but they get a lot of emails and a lot of messages. So you're just another one of a lot of people. So you need to think differently when you're contacting the media. So if you've got something you want them to see, don't just send them an email or post them a book in the mail. Put it in a big box with a ribbon, send some flowers with it. Make it stand out so that they're like, oh, what's this? They want to open it. Give it a catchy heading, or you've got to actually think outside the box to catch the media, because they do get a lot of, and that's what we did.
And I guess for our tradie guys, for them, it's like even having their faces on their websites. It's actually,
Absolutely.
You've got pictures of you with your kids on your website. It's about them creating about who they are, but actually, getting their phones out, doing a few videos when they go on site. But just even having some photos, so many trade sites I see don't even have photos of, it says we're a family business, but there's no pictures of them. So it's just about even in their own things, creating their own celebrity in their own business.
And also another great thing for tradies is, a lot of tradies work with their shirts off, or if they're on the tools, but if there's some tradies out there with good bodies, milk it. Sexy plumber. Sexy builder.
Tradies Business Show Calendar 2015.
Yes, totally. Really milk it.
Yeah, I think we'll have to talk about that one.
Yeah. So they should really utilise that profile for themselves. If they've got a good body, get a photo shoot. Actually put on their website, sexy trader, just tradie, or sexy. You could actually have heaps of them. Sexy plumber, sexy.
So there's another business for you.
Yeah.
What's Julius like with a hammer and a screwdriver?
Because a lot of the times it would be, I'm guessing, if there's a problem with the plumbing at home, it would be the wife that would call. I'd call a sexy plumber before I'd call an old dude.
You just wouldn't tell Julius.
Julius would be like, you got a sexy plumber coming around here.
So on that whole brand thing, and you touched on this a little bit earlier about social media and negative reviews and negative feedback. I'll jump right in and bring up the Chrissy Swan episode where you guys had a bit of a stoush about an issue. But what did that have an impact on your business, and how did you manage the negative press, obviously, but also just some of the average punters seeing all of that negative comment and the haters out there? How did you guys approach that?
We had a lot of support for the Chrissy Swan thing. That came really left field for me, because they contacted me that night wanting to do an interview on morning sickness, because I'd come out and said that I've cured my morning sickness, and the media wanted to know how. And obviously there's people that goes, no, you can't cure morning sickness. And there's a yes and a no for that whole topic. But so they called and wanted to do that. And then when I was in the radio interview, Chrissy went left field and asked me about why do you think fat people are lazy? Do you think I'm lazy, Sharny? And that's how that came in, and it just went viral. So for me, I was not prepared for that. I did not expect that to happen. So in that particular situation, because that's happened to us quite a few times where the media have spun something, which they do beautifully, they get us great publicity. And then we just don't get on Twitter and Facebook and all of that. We just eliminate that. And focus on our goal, which is helping people to live a healthy, happy life. We just 100% stay focused on our message, which is you can find time to look after your health. There's no excuse. You don't want to get to your deathbed and look back on your life and realize all the excuses you've had and have regrets, because I promise you that you will have regrets if you've got excuses. So that's our message. So for the Chrissy Swan thing, we just truly, you can't stop negativity. It's going to happen. I love everyone to love me. That's my thing, and I'm working on it. And Julius doesn't care who loves him, who hates him. He'll just tell the truth. So Julius and I are a great partnership in that regard, as he's really taught me it doesn't matter. You can't have everybody love you. You can't have every single person believe in us and we can't cater for everybody.
That's
so
right.
If someone isn't happy with something that you've done, if you, with your integrity, know that you've done a great job, then you just move on. Because obviously if something's wrong with a job, they go back and fix it, of course. But if it's nothing you've done, who cares? Just move on.
Cool.
Yeah, you really can't do anything, can you? Really?
So it's just staying on your message and not getting dragged into the slanging match.
When we didn't know how to expect it. So when it first came out about the dole bludger, fat people are dole bludgers, we had thousands and thousands of messages, and a lot of them were haters and death threats, which I said earlier. So we had to stop looking at it. We don't even bother replying. So when we get a negative message, if it's negative enough, it gets removed or blocked. If it's kind of borderline, it can stay there. And we've got a following now where our followers protect us. So they'll get into an argument and we stay out of it.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And they say you haven't made it till you got a few haters. So.
Yeah, true.
I'm looking forward to our first one.
And then the higher you get, there are more haters apparently too. So we'll see.
Bring on the haters. Yes. So if you've got any hate mail, please address it to Sharny. So look, you really went through a major change to your business model as well. And for our listeners, some of them are currently working for somebody else. Some are just like a man in a van, so a sole trader that might be looking at transitioning to employing people, so changing the model that they're running under. You guys had a bricks and mortar personal training business, and you're now 100% online. Yep. Pretty much you guys are fitness experts, and you're selling books and online programs.
Yeah.
Was there any, hassles or challenges in changing that model?
We just went with it. I think don't be afraid of change. And we've always embraced change because you get very caught up. It's scary. Like when we had a bricks and mortar business, and like what I said earlier with the trainer that took 40 of our clients, that was a push, a big shove. Things have got to change. So from that moment, we've always now embraced change. So I think that it's really important to keep growing and keep moving. And there's a set path that you'll go on and just let it happen. So we're now getting contacted from the States, people wanting us and brands wanting us to be ambassadors for their brand, which is exciting. This only happened in the last few weeks. We're starting to get offers. So obviously we're building a presence globally now, which has been happening over a long time. This hasn't happened overnight. So for us, it's exciting, and there's an exciting 2015 coming. But I think it's important, the one thing that will be the same for us and for any tradies out there is just embrace change and grow, and don't be afraid of change, because otherwise you'll get to the end of your business life and you'll still be on the tools as a sole trader. And if that's not what you want, you've got to keep just pushing, even though it's scary. Fear means that you're moving in that, just embrace that fear feeling.
Absolutely.
I think fear's a big thing for our guys. They really don't like change, or they're frightened what the future holds, and fear really holds them back from really stepping up and making a true successful business.
So I think embrace that fear feeling, because you'll always have it. every next step you take, even with weight loss, anything that's unknown and you're moving into what you feel is darkness, which is an unknown area, there's that fear and perturbation there. So just push through it and just conquer it, because it's exciting when you get to the other side, because really you make a mistake, oh well, you get back on your feet, everything works out.
What scares you the most, Sharny?
I guess for us, we want to be able to provide for our children. Having children there is a real fear for us, and Julius and I have the same fear, and it's if anything ever happens to our children, because it's so unpredictable as parents, and I know every parent would go, absolutely. Like, you don't want your children to get sick. You don't want anything to happen to your children. So for us, our fear is our kids. Yeah. We like to keep them safe.
Cool. And that obviously drives you to do what you do.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know, what's one of the best pieces of business advice you've been given?
I think for me, I like to control my situation, and you can't always do that. Birthing's been a really good experience with not being able to control change, because you can't, if you have a natural birth, your baby comes when it's ready. You can't control that. I've learnt that. So for my best piece of advice is just roll with life. Like, you can plan, but if you don't control it too much, that disappointment won't be there. So for me, that's been such a huge learning. And recently is just roll with how life goes. Plan as best you can, but things go off track sometimes, and just nudge them back on, but don't stress about it. Yeah.
And so one thing we like to ask our guests is, have they had a good or bad tradie experience that comes to mind? Anything for you?
I've had mainly good ones, to be honest. I think tradies are pretty good. Like, if they need to come back and fix something, they're good at doing that. But for me, one thing that sticks out is we had an electrician that came back so many times to fix this fault with the house, where you'd turn a light on and it had shut down the whole house. He kept saying it was fixed. I'm like, no, it's still happening. But then when he come out, it wouldn't happen. Like, is this
One of
house
those
haunted?
problems.
What's going on? So, but it wasn't. And in the end, he ended up just not coming back. He's like, there's nothing wrong with it, but it was still never ever fixed. So, was it? Oh God, I wonder whether it was actually haunted and it was a ghost that was doing it. But yeah, that's our. It's not that bad, but that's
the
our
point
probably
when you
one
sell the
experience.
house to somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a car. As
Move
soon as you
along.
get a gremlin in the car, it's time to trade it in.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's next for Sharny and Julius? I mean, you mentioned the USA before.
So we've just released PregFit, which is our pregnancy book that released yesterday. And then we've got another couple of books coming out next year, an online program. So we're going to keep pushing with that side of things. For us, our bodies and our brand will get bigger next year. And then ideally down the track, we'd love to do all round year summer, so live 6 months in the States, 6 months here, and be able to cater, because summer is our industry, you know, like people worry about their bodies in the summer. So if we can do an all year summer would be pretty cool. So that's down the track as well. And then definitely another baby on the cards.
Yeah. Going for number 6.
We need even numbers. 6 is good. And
Hello,
so
Hugo.
just and Hugo's
We've
like,
actually
what?
got-
Another baby already? You're
We've actually
palming
got
me
the
off.
newest member of the Kieser clan in the studio here. So
I'm kissing the mic instead of
there you go. That's what juggling a business and motherhood does to you.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, there's lots happening. And I guess while people are reading our books, which they are, we'll keep writing, and we've got another 2 cookbooks coming out next year as well.
Cool.
And, you know, never an idea to have a tradie fit and cookbook that they can, you know, how to work out on a job site or something like that. You
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely send you guys some workouts, I promise. Some fast workouts to work for tradies, but definitely no more excuses. Just fit something in. 5 minutes is better than no minutes.
Tradie fit. I like
Yeah,
it.
tradie fit, definitely.
You heard it first on the Tradies Business Show, guys. Well, look, Sharny, thank you so much for coming in and bringing little Hugo with you as well. He managed to do pretty well, actually, to survive that long. But, yeah, great to see the success you guys have achieved. I'm really looking forward to seeing some more from you guys in 2015.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Bye.
Well, what a great interview with Sharny. I know my husband's not going to be overly impressed about this afternoon when I go and chain the fridge up and getting out walking after 8 hours on the tools today.
No beer for you.
No. We walk now.
Yes, it was a great interview, and I think my big takeaway from that time with Sharny was really around habits, and that applies to all of us across our businesses and personal life, is to be really mindful of our habits, whether they're good or bad, and just reframe those and rebuild them in terms of the habits we want or need to have to get the results that we want.
That's right. It's all about priorities, isn't it? Knowing
Yeah.
what they are and putting your routine in place for that. And so for me, it was all about, we all face negative setbacks in our business, and it's not using them as an excuse. It's seeing what you can take away from them, what you can learn, and just roll with it. And, they're now growing a global brand because they had someone steal their clients. So probably the best thing that ever happened to them. And, they're at home every day now, totally online. So really take those setbacks, see what you can learn, and they could be the best thing that happened to you. Don't use them as an excuse.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? Have someone steal your clients and it catapults your business to success. Great. So if you want to find out more about Sharny and Julius, go check out their website at sharnyandjulius.com. It's SHARNY and Julius.com. And we'll make sure we put Sharny's tradies workouts. We might have to get a tradies wife workout from her as well. We'll put those up in the show notes for episode 8.
Great. And we'd love you to send your photos in if you're doing any of those workouts.
Using your kids as weights or something.
That's
Make
right.
sure you, look after their safety first, of course.
Yeah. And so if you want to know more about the show, go to tradiesbusinessshow.com. And so you never miss another episode, make sure to subscribe on iTunes and leave us a ratings and review. We'd love to get your feedback on how the show's going. And if you'd like to be a feature question on an upcoming show, make sure to go to the website and leave us a voicemail.
Until next episode, bye for now.
See ya.
You've been listening to the Tradies Business Show with Warwick Bidwell and Michaela Clark. Want to get off the tools and into true business ownership? Find out how at tradiesbusinessshow.com.